just give us your thoughts on being here at Marco Simone in a professional capacity, played last year, but some thoughts on the golf course and some of the changes that you've seen across that time.
Yeah, obviously delighted to be back here. This has obviously been always a special place. My wife and I have visited Rome many times, and my second time playing the Italian Open here. Played last year, and obviously played a few holes yesterday, and saw the golf course on Monday too. And it's in tremendous in shape. Hearing a lot of praise from the players. What amazing condition the golf course is in. I think it's going to be a great week. We had a good championship last year, but very excited about all the players that have come to support me and the tournament this week. Rory and Victor and Francesco and Matt Fitzpatrick, and the list goes on and on. So it's been a great start to the week, a busy one for me, seeing lots of meetings but very excited for the tournament to get started tomorrow.
The journey in terms of the Ryder Cup has already been underway for a little while for yourself, lots of work behind the scenes, but in many ways there was a real milestone last week with the start of the qualification campaign at the BMW PGA Championship. You must be delighted with the start that some of your players made, the top three in particular, and obviously Francesco as well.
Yeah, the road to the Ryder Cup to Marco Simone started last week, and at Wentworth, obviously a huge event for the DP World Tour. Couldn't be happier with how the tournament finished. Shane Lowry obviously coming out on top, Rory McIlroy having a chance on the 18th, Jon Rahm playing an amazing round on Sunday. I got to play with Francesco Thursday and Friday and was extremely impressed. His game seems as good as ever. His tee shots were very straight and down the middle, and it was great to see him have a good solid week in a top 10. He seems very focused. His injuries seem to be behind him, and he seems very focused on his game. So all in all, it was a very nice start to the Ryder Cup campaign.
Thank you, Luke. We're going to go into some questions. If I could ask you to raise your hands and we'll get the microphone to you. If someone would like to get us underway. Go down the front with Suzanne, please.
Yes. Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
And welcome to Rome, obviously. First of all, could I just ask you a quick question about the Queen and the Queen's passing, and what's special, because you've been such a high-profile athlete in the UK, did you have any special memories with her that you could share with us?
I got to go to Buckingham Palace in 2004 after our first Ryder Cup victory in Detroit, and I was in a room with her. I wouldn't say we had a one-on-one, but she certainly passed through and was able to be in her presence. And a special lady. We obviously saw the amazing reaction from her sad passing, but I think everyone on reflection saw her as an amazing lady that dedicated her life to serving her country and the duty, and I think that was shown in just the reaction from everyone who was there. It was a strange day, her passing, but again, I think we'll look back on her life and celebrate what an amazing lady she was, and how she ruled with such dignity and duty and selfless duty to her country.
Okay. No, I appreciate that, and thank you. And it was nice they did make the tribute to her at Wentworth for the day, etc. Now, coming to Marco Simone, which I'm sure is of more interest to everybody here. You played here last year, and you did a few holes. What is your feeling about this course, and how does it compare with other Ryder Cup courses that you played with, both on this side of the Atlantic and on the other side?
Well, it's quite a big golf course. There's some long holes out there. Whether it whether it's similar to, yeah, I mean, I heard a few players thought it was, somewhat similar to a Celtic Manor. It's quite a big property, quite a few drivers off the tee, but beautifully presented. When that fescue grass grows up, the different colorations between the fairways and the rough. And I think it has a sort of a stadium feel, a little bit like Paris, a little bit like Celtic Manor, where you can create some great vistas for the fans. I think it's going to be a great experience for the people who come here and support Team Europe to get behind us and cheer us, because they'll have a great view of the golf.
And where do you see the key parts of this course as far as your team, and where is everything, the action going to be?
Well, the action is always throughout the whole course, really, but it has some interesting holes. 16 obviously is going to be potentially drivable par 4. I think that's going to create some great options with 4-ball and foursomes. An exciting hole. 11 is another one that potentially some of the longer hitters could drive as well. But yeah, we're looking at the golf course, and we won't make too many changes. But as any home captain, you're always trying to find the advantages for your team, and so you're looking at statistics and trying to make the golf course fit our players just a little bit better than their players.
That was my next question. Where are the changes going to come?
Well, again, I'm not going to give away too much, but with myself and Eduardo and Thomas Bjorn, we've definitely taken a deep dive into statistics. It's still early on in the process of qualification, but you have a sense of what the Americans are good at, what we are good at, and you obviously try and shape the golf course a little bit towards giving ourselves just a small advantage. The teams will be very similar, to be honest, on paper. But you try and give us just those small little advantages that can make a difference at the end.
Which you've been very successful at. Keep up the good work, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrew, did you have a question? Just move the microphone across, please.
Andrew Dam for Associated Press. Just, you mentioned you've been busy with some meetings this week. Is this your first time here since you've been named captain? You said you played last year.
Yeah, first time.
First time here. And what have those meetings been? Can you provide us with any details, what those meetings have been so far? And what else will you be looking at the rest of the week in terms of captain's duties?
Well, we went through a walkthrough on the golf course early Monday. I was at the team hotel Monday afternoon looking at the spaces. Obviously it's a big week. There's lots of different functions. I'm trying to create the best atmosphere for the Ryder Cup and both teams. Where we're staying, those sacred places are important to create the right atmosphere for the guys to compete at the highest level. So that was Monday. Tuesday I played a few holes and got a little practice in. And in the afternoon I met with Laura Piana, going over the clothes. Again, very important to look good and feel good. Had a dinner with some of the Italian Federation members. And some of the key people from the golf course. This morning I was going through the space here, where the locker rooms are going to be, how they're going to be dressed, all the facilities for the team rooms and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of planning and a lot of things that go into creating a Ryder Cup. I certainly don't just turn up in 12 months and hope I have a good team and wish and hope for the best. So there's a lot of little details, and it's a good job that I'm a detail-oriented person. So I'm enjoying it, enjoying the process.
Did Henrik pass on any of his information that he had garnered when in his months as captain? Did he pass on his notebook, or how did that go on?
I mean, obviously, Henrik had a couple of meetings, I think, with Eduardo and Thomas, and some of that was shared with me, but it was still pretty early in the process.
And the inevitable question about eligibility in terms of the live players, where do we stand at this point? Is it open to everybody at this point, or what are you thinking?
Nothing has really changed since I was appointed back in August. We're still a little bit in limbo. We don't know what's going to happen with the lawsuit, so I'm trying not to really put too much energy into it. Once we have a clearer picture, then I can give you better answers.
Thanks, Andrew. Any more questions? Just move the microphone along this way, please.
Luke, good morning. My name is Matías Miguel Torge from Handicap 54 Argentina. 2 questions for you. Question number 1, what is your definition of legacy for the young golfers who will have a chance to qualify or be selected for the Ryder Cup? And what is your opinion about the new Hero Cup and the annoyance of the Ballesteros family about this?
Well, the first one, the legacy of the young players, I think there's a great opportunity, like every year, for young players to come through and make the team. It'll be my goal and my opportunity to try and make it clear how big of an event the Ryder Cup is. I think my first Ryder Cup back in 2004, I understood it was a big event, but once I got and played it, I didn't really understand the enormity of it, the impact it has on golf, the impact it has on encouraging a new generation of players to take up the game, to create history. It's an event like nothing that we play week in, week out, because we come together as a team and put all our individual assets to the side and come together to create something, that's bigger than just ourselves. So, that'd be my message to some of the young players. This is a great opportunity to create that legacy. Obviously I've got to play with a few the last few weeks. I get to play with Guido Migliozzi tomorrow, and Adrian Moronk, another guy that just won on the European Tour. I'm excited to see their games, but again, I'll be keeping my eye on some of the younger, exciting talent to try and make this team. The second part, the Hero Cup is an exciting new team event that based off the Seve Trophy and the Eurasia Cup. Obviously, it's my understanding the European Tour have been in contact with the Ballesteros family, and those conversations are ongoing, and we want to include them as much as possible in that event.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Do you have any more questions for Luke? Just in the row behind you. Thank you.
Hi. Hi, Luke. Nice to meet you. It's Federica from Golfiturismo magazine. What do you think about Eduardo and your already work with him? And what do you think of his work with the statistic golf?
Well, Eduardo and I obviously played a Ryder Cup together, 2010 at Celtic Manor. I've always been friendly with Eduardo and his brother Francesco, obviously. But I've got to know him even better the last 6 weeks or so. He's very hardworking, very diligent. He's had some great success with his statistics and some of the players he's been working with. I know Mats Fitzpatrick, Victor Hovland, some guys over here, Jordan Smith, I believe, amongst a few other people. So his work is great. I've certainly been leaning on him quite heavily. Again, he's very diligent. He comes back to me with answers straight away. And he's been a pleasure to work with.
I have another question. You play a lot of Ryder Cup and also in vice captain role. What kind of captain do you think you are?
I think, I've tried to pick up things that I like from the captains that I've been under. I think you base your captaincy on the characteristics of yourself. I've always seen myself as someone that always does what he says he does, has a lot of integrity. But also, looking back on my personal career, I've had a lot of ambition. And some people probably wouldn't have thought, looking at my game early on in my career as a professional, that I would have been able to achieve what I achieved. So, I think that ambition of hard work, perseverance, trying to find little areas where you can improve, where you can always keep getting better, that's kind of the style that I'll be bringing to my captaincy. I feel like I'm well liked and trusted amongst the players, again, I'm very excited to get going on this journey and try and be the leader for them.